What's up? This is your host Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And today I'm doing this stream 2 hours earlier because I am going to do a purchase live on the stream, and I don't want to do it when the US is up. Especially right now, if you look at the global market, we just had this news breaking, which is down, futures down more than 500 points as markets sell off. So what happened is that when the US wake up, when people want to exit the positions on the blockchain, gas fee might be high, so I want to do my purchase as soon as possible. So without further ado, let's look at our the topic of our video today. If you are planning to buy Yuga Labs Otherdeed, first of all, I want to share some insight that I have, and hopefully this can help you buy your Yuga land deed, right? So right now we do see a lot of Otherside land selling at floor. But right now they have gone down to around 2-point-ish floor price, right? So the floor price is going to go down. But in between, when you look at the previous sales history for Yuga Labs Otherdeed, you'll notice that some people are not buying the floor at all. They are buying different things in between, and that is because of the trades that are in the other land deed, right? So first of all, I was looking through the Otherdeed. What I found out is that within the trades, right, you could see there is different type of items or artifact within the land, right? And using my past RuneScape experience, in the past you need hammers to smith tools, pickaxe to mine metal and stone, shovel to harvest plants, axe for wood cutting, and resources to farm on. So I won't go into details about the Yuga land Otherside. You could do your own research, but I want to go specific, and that is if you look at the website, it says that each piece of land in the Otherside nurtures up to 4 replenishing resources, right? So what it means is that all of these resources are replenishing. So if you mine these resources, they are going to replenish, right? It's not going to be a once-off resources. So these resources are going to be so important. And if you look at these resources, they come into 4 different categories, which is anima, which is for research. You have ore, which is metal, shard, which is stone, and then you have wood, which is wood, okay? And then if you go to the Otherdeed, right? And if you look at right now, this is Gem.XYZ. I use Gem.XYZ to look at the rarities, where you can see it here. But at the same time, if you look at the Otherside deed, if you scroll down, so basically what you have is that you have the environment rarity, and then you have the different resources, and then you have a coda if you win one, but then you also have an artifact. So right now, all of these floor NFTs are trading without any artifact. So if you are personally, like for me, the reason why I'm looking at the Otherside game is that I'm looking forward to play the game and maybe to scavenge resources and use these resources to maybe sell them for Ape token. So if this is your strategy, what I would suggest you to do is that don't look at these floor NFTs. Instead, scroll down and go to artifact, right? If you go to artifact, you'll find that the first artifact, which has a 1% rarity, is ancient coin, right? But then when you scroll down, you see you have rugged hammer, you have rugged shovel, rugged axe, and then if you keep a rugged pickaxe, right? And then when you scroll even further down, you'll have forged shovel, forged pickaxe, and then you also have forged axe. So basically what it means is that I think the strategy to play for the Otherside land, if you're watching this, is that you want to buy, maybe for example, you are a miner, right? So what you would do is that you'll go for a rugged pickaxe, right? And then you'll go for a forged pickaxe, right? And then when you look at this, right, you do see people not buying from the floor because they are buying artifacts, right? So the lowest floor price for the rugged pickaxe is actually 3.9, and then the next one is 4.1, right? So if you look at the purchase, and if you look at this, right, I think your strategy would be, for example, this one is a good purchase because right now, if you buy this pickaxe, you would have access to mine your Lunarin and Luxor and Rune on your land. So this is actually a nice purchase because it has inherent resources. You are gonna get your pickaxe, and then you can mine resources, right? So don't fund run me. This is one that I was looking at yesterday, but the guy purchased at 3.5 ETH and then wanted to do a quick flip. So I decided not to buy it. But I do think that if you're planning to buy other land deed, besides look at the rarity, what you should look for is whether it has an artifact, and whether that artifact, if you want to be a miner, if you want to scavenge herbal stuff, right, then go for like a shovel, and then go for resources that are herbal, which looks like a plant. But if you are a miner, you want to use a pickaxe to do something, then go for something where it has some rocks related, shard related resources where you can continue mining on your land. So this is my strategy. If you want to participate in the other side, so this is something that, as my title said, watch this before you buy your other side deed, right? So it doesn't have to be a floor price other side, but it's more like your strategy. If your strategy is long term, you want to play the game, then why not buy one that you could mine on, right? And also comes with a tool for you, right? So with the two different tiers of pickaxe, there is a risk involved, and that is if that pickaxe is a consumable, right? Let's say in other games when you use the pickaxe for 100 times, it breaks, you have to get a new one. Then the pickaxe value isn't really that determined in terms of the price. But if this pickaxe is for long, right, it is an NFT, it does not burn, and all you have to do is just repair it after using it for X amount, using maybe 8 token, right? Then that pickaxe has its value. But right now, we still do not know, so there is an inherent risk involved. So anyways, moving on to a giveaway. Thank you guys for your support. I have finally gotten 1,000 followers. This number goes down, goes up, so it doesn't really matter. But I do want to tell you a story that, it was one of my early NFT wins, right? So basically, in the past, I started my channel around November, okay? And in December, I was very honored to have Nikki to come to my channel to, share her experience as a NFT creator, as someone who has a successful and sold out project. And, Nikki talked about the idea of conviction, right? You need conviction, and if you believe in your project and you believe in what you're doing, you need that conviction, okay? So what I did is that after the show, I felt so inspired for her. And what I did is that I decided to buy a Kumo, right? I decided to buy an NFT from her project, and I was afraid someone was gonna say that I was a paid show, so I, posted on my Twitter and say, hey, I just bought it because I like it. I really want to support Nikki for what she's doing. And back then, if you look at this, right, Kumo was trading at 5 months ago, was trading at a floor price of 0.025, right? So it was trading, isn't a really hyped or big project, right? And at that moment, if you look at my wallet, right, I only had I have 0.46 on my wallet, right? And then after paying gas and then after buying the Kumo, I basically had like 0.009 Ethereum in my wallet. And my story is that after I bought this Kumo, right, and after the interview and stuff like that, Nikki had conviction and she worked on her project. And then within a month, the floor price went up, right? And I was able to sell my Kumo for 0.33 Ethereum, right? I was able to sell it for 0.33, and I was able to have a profit in between. The story, what I'm trying to say is that when I first wanted to sell my Kumo, I felt bad because I wanted to, support her, and I feel like if I'm selling an NFT, it feels like I'm kind of like giving up or not supporting her anymore. But then I came to a realization that actually buying that NFT in the first place is already a support because you do have secondary royalties back to the project, right? And selling it is also supporting it because you also have secondary royalties. And what I want to share with you is that in a down market like this, sometimes like not financial advice, but sometimes if you want to go back to support certain projects, this might be a good time. So I see that gas right now is around 36 gray, so I'm gonna do this live right now. So to reward and to thank my followers, I want to do a giveaway this week. And this is Gem.XYZ, right? For those of you who do not know, and you're in for a surprise, is that Gem.XYZ is a platform where you can buy multiple NFT at the same time, and it helps you save gas because everything is done in one transaction. So in order to support, Nikki and thank her for her support when I was, basically just starting out my channel. And if you look at her project is now back at 0.05, right? But, in my previous flip, I was able to make around 0.2 Ethereum as a profit because minus gas, right? So what I'm trying to do right now is to share a story with you that sometimes it's okay to take profit, then come back to the project and support it. So right now, what I'm gonna do is that this is Gem.XYZ, which I really like. You can sort it by low to high. What you can do is there's a button which is sweeping. So basically you can sweep, right? And then you can say, oh, I wanna buy 3 NFTs at the same time. Or my NFT budget is around 0.1, right? Or 0.5, okay? So I'm gonna do like a 0.15 purchase, right? Because I want to do a giveaway. In these giveaways, there is gas fee involved, and in this down market, I have to be more conservative and also survive. I always talk about survival in this game. It's fine to take profit. but I do want to have, share my joy and give away free Kumo NFTs. So what you can do is that once you decide your budget, right, and then it will show you how many Kumo you could buy in one transaction, you could press buy now. Then it generates a transaction. Gray is now at 45 again. So yeah. So basically in 0.15, I can basically buy it, right? So you want to use a market budget, and then you can buy. Because you don't want people to front run you, right? So basically when this transaction is pending, it will show up on OpenSea about, this guy is purchasing, right? So it is currently loading, but I will show you how does buying using Gem.XYZ and buying multiple NFT looks like, right? So for those of you who do not know, when you buy on Gem.XYZ, right? What happened is that, let's look at this, right? Floor price is 0.5 now. Look at activity. So right now, I just bought a transaction using Gem.XYZ, right? And now I have successfully purchased my Kumo. And now you can see all 3 of these Kumo is now in my wallet, right? So this is how the transaction looks like. So if you look at a minute ago, look at the transaction, it will show that within one transaction, I was able to transfer 3 Kumo into my wallet, and I don't have to pay separate gas fee for each transaction. So this is how you use Gem.XYZ. So I would be posting the giveaway link in the description below. So feel free to participate if you want. I am gonna share more afterwards. So in order for you to win this giveaway, right? I do have some criteria. The first thing I wanted to do is that I wanted to reward people who are not bought. So if you're watching this video, this is the timestamp where I'm gonna begin, right? So the secret word is conviction. So what you would be required to do in the giveaway is to, first of all, follow myself, follow Nikki, follow Kumo X World, and also, full disclaimer, this is just a community member who's just buying Kumo to do a giveaway, right? It has nothing to do with them, but I just want to support them, okay? And like and retweet and tag 3 friends on the Twitter post, which I will post shortly. And one more thing is to share a story, okay? Share a story in the comment section. And within that story, I do want to see the word conviction, which is the story that, Nikki has been sharing throughout her journey as an NFT creator. How you have conviction in your project, and how even in downtimes, you also have to have conviction in the market as an investor, right? So if you want to participate in the giveaway, the secret word is conviction. So to filter out the bots and stuff like that, if your comment has the word conviction, like say for example, I think it's important to have conviction in this market, and then comment that on the Twitter reply, and then you would be you would join the raffle, and I will draw it live and on Friday. And for every 100, so in minimum, I'm gonna give out 1 Kumo, right? But with more than 100 retweet, I'm gonna give out 2. And then with another additional 100 retweet, I will give away at a maximum cap of 3. So in total, the maximum Kumos I'm gonna give away is 3. So the chances of winning is therefore higher. And I do want to give them all away to cheer people up in this down market. So thank you for listening to the story about how I brought in and then I sold, and now I'm buying back in, hopefully to support the project again. And sometimes there is no wrong taking profit, and always survival is the most important game of all in this space. Especially everything is about survival, right? So no worries selling, buying after. So all right, so that's it. That's the story that I had for Kumo. I want to go to the market, and let's look at the market today, right? If we look at the market is seriously looking bad. The reason why for this is that if you look at the EU market, down, everything is down. Asian market, everything is kind of down. And then if you look at this, all of these headlines, down futures for 400 points as Wall Street roller coaster ride continues, right? So we can kind of see that once the market opens at 1 p.m. UTC, there's a chance that crypto is going to go down again, right? But not financial advice, but it's just there is some correlation. And even now, once the article came out, everything is looking very down. So our market cap down, we are now at 1.5 trillion, which is a 5.96% decrease over the last day. If you look at the crypto market cap, we're almost going back down to the levels when we have in July. Back then, it was really a very long, well, within a few months, but it was kind of a really long market back then, right? So there is still some way to go down. So the really interesting, I mean, the serious thing that we have to see is that crypto market capitalization is important because it shows you how many money is coming into the whole ecosystem and how many money is leaving. And as you can see, this breakdown basically shows that the money is indeed leaving the market. Everyone is holding cash. Cash is king. And this also includes stable coins as well. So let's move on. In terms of DeFi, definitely we will expect a down. In terms of chain, if we look at sorted by 21-day change, there are some chains with some positive. So I think some traders or some investors do believe in the chain and try to, you know, put in money, right? Interestingly, Tron is now number 6 in terms of 1-day change. But I think this is because of the stablecoin announcement, right? But still, because the whole overall market is down, DeFi volume isn't doing quite well in general. So moving on to NFTs. NFTs still a sea of red. You know, you have a lot of people trading the Otherdeed, but now we are seeing a 2.95 floor price. So you're thinking of coming in the market later. You know, maybe you could use some of the suggestions that I shared early on in the video and then maybe find a good entry. And if you do have to find a good entry, it is a long-term play because we're talking about having Yuga Labs coming out with their game and then using those artifacts to mine resources in the game and assuming that those resources could be resold for profit, right? A lot of assumptions, so everything is quite risky if you ask me. But sea of red, only a small increase for cyber broker, but shows that money is definitely leaving the NFT market. If we look at this, you know, NFT Go market sentiment not looking good. I think it's gonna be around below 50, right? Right now I'm still loading the website, but as we can see, it's still loading. But if you look at 49. There are more sellers than buyers in 24 hours. Blue chip index is kind of almost trading sideways, right? In 24 hours, market cap has gone 0.22%. Volume has decreased, so people are trading less. In terms of holder and traders, more holders because people are forced to hold the bags. NFTs are illiquid things, okay? So you have to be careful when the market goes down. Only in, like, to be honest, I do think that if you are investing, NFT is super risky because in a down market like this, and we would definitely see this. Some NFTs might not be able to even be sold, right? They might not even convert to Ethereum, right? But so if you are very risk averse, maybe NFT is not for you. Maybe trading cryptocurrency might be easier for you because you can immediately trade in different swaps, or you can immediately trade in different exchanges. So always, you know, be careful in this space. The market changes really quickly. So moving on to today's news, the first news is, and also this could also be a reason why the crypto market has been going downhill a little bit, right? So I've been covering about Terra Luna's stable coin, which is a UST. And basically what happened is that Terra Luna declines 10% amid UST depegging concerns. So during the weekend, what happened was that people were finding out that the UST is gonna depeg, that is no longer have a value of 1 USD, right? So basically what happened is that Terra's Luna token since yesterday had plummeted around 10% to 65.8 on fears that the Terra stablecoin UST propped up mainly by Luna may lose its peg. So basically stablecoins are cryptocurrency pegged to fiat currency such as the US dollar on a one-to-one basis. Depegging referring to the stablecoin going above $1 or maybe more commonly below $1. So basically what happened is that the UST fell as low as 0.985 on Saturday, and it's now trading at 0.99. But although a 1% depeg isn't unusual for stablecoin, at times of intense market pressure, the parity is often restored quickly. But in the case of USD, it's been more than 16 hours, right? So basically, some critics say is that the highlights UST as a liability for the wider cryptocurrency market. As the Luna Foundation Guard, the organization that backed UST has a 3.5 billion in Bitcoin ready to sell as a last resort should they need to defend the UST stability, right? So basically what happened is that if the peg goes down and if the foundation has to sell the Bitcoin, it creates selling pressure and drive the whole market down, which, you know, is a cascading effect and goes further down, right? So, you know, LFG reserves are in Bitcoin at 93%, Luna 3.5, AVAX 3.5. So the pressure on UST began to mount after the few days saw high volume withdrawal for Terra's Anchor protocol. So people are withdrawing money from DeFi from the Terra Anchor protocol And it seems that it was done by one account who was trying to challenge the UST algorithmic stablecoin. And once they try to withdraw it, there's a domino effect. UST liquidity pool on the curve shows an imbalance of around 67 at that time of writing. Usually it's a 50% split, and therefore there was a depeg, and it kind of caused a cascading effect, and Luna jumped quite a bit, right? So for those of you who are familiar with algorithmic stablecoin, I would suggest you to either do more research, and at this point of time, try not to touch this. Go for other stablecoins like USDC, USDT, which is a unfamiliar option, but it has a more liquidity, or maybe BUSD, right? Because right now, algorithmic stablecoin, especially the one from Terra, is getting some challenge, right? So moving on to our next news, NFT market slumps at weekly sales volume dives 30%, right? So basically, all the trading volumes are way down, and so according to NFT Go, which is the data that's showing you, all the collections are kind of going down. The transaction volume of Yuga Lab series NFT has dropped significantly in the past 24 hours. And if you're looking for a better entry, I think it's a waiting game, right? Right now you do see some people flipping, and if they want to flip those NFTs, it's totally fine. But I think the waiting game is that if the market keeps going down, these people are gonna take profit sooner or later, right? And if you want a good entry for certain artifacts, right, certain resources, then maybe we could all wait, because right now at this moment, having liquidity is king, right? Having cash is king, because the market is in a huge fear, and this time is kind of different because you have macro factors affecting this. This is not an individual crypto alone dip, but it's an all global market dip that is causing the crypto to go down. So survival is the most important thing, as I always say. So, in addition to the collection, Yuga Labs, which are all trading on Ethereum, sales volume across 10 blockchains of NFT have suffered a double-digit loss over the past 7 days. On average, sales volumes are down 22.5 among Ethereum, Solana, Flow, Avalanche, Rowan, BNB, Wax, and Panning. Right? So only Polygon and Tesla sales volume are up, respectively, according to CryptoSlam. Right? So, I do think that the market is in a lot of panic, and if you are panicking right now, if you're over invested, if you can, I'm not advising you to sell, right? But if this money is very important to you, then definitely maybe you want to take some profit on the side, or maybe even sell some at a loss, because we don't know how much further down there is, right? Personally, I have experienced this before. I brought some crypto at this point, and then it went down, and then we have a slightly going back up. Everyone is exciting because these are 10 or 20% increase, but I haven't really gone back to the point where I got in. And then boom, it goes even further down. So you're ended up holding up, bags that has been going down and down, even though you're compounding or staking it, right? So what I would do sometimes is that I would, just cut loss, just say, okay, I lost this time, right? And then sell, but then don't fully give up on this market, because we do see a lot of potential, which is what I'm going to tell you, which is Meta's Instagram support for NFTs from Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, Flow. So what you can do is, if you have a long-term horizon, right? Sometimes if you really need money, you need to put food on the table, it's okay to sell, right? But then long-term, maybe you could build in this ecosystem. I built some parcels in the metaverse, and I made some money, and that's why I was able to reinvest it in other things to have some gain, which allowed me to kind of survive and do some giveaways like I'm doing right now. But anyways, my final news is, some hopium or some copium, whatever you say, is that I think this is a huge news on Meta. So Facebook is going to support NFT from Ethereum, Polygon, and Solana Flow. So a lot of people are saying that, hey, Facebook is going to build their own chain, which I'm sure that they will probably do. But in order to attract people to use, NFT or applications, they are going to accept other blockchain. Don't be so naive to think that they're not going to accept other type of blockchain in order to drive liquidity, to drive interest on using the platform. So basically, this news is saying that NFT from some of the most popular blockchain network for crypto art are coming to Instagram with the announcement of a pilot as soon as Monday, which is today in US time. So basically, Meta and Instagram is gonna support integration for Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, and Flow. So what happened is that this pilot will feature a small group of NFT aficionados based in the US. So it's gonna roll out in the US first. And what happened is that I think they're gonna do something maybe similar to Twitter, where you could have a verified profile picture if you own that NFT. But I do think that this is definitely gonna pave way for mass adoption compared to Coinbase, right? Because now you have a new utility for your NFT, which is showing off on Instagram, right? And a lot of people always have this naive thinking saying that Web2 companies aren't gonna come into Web3. And I do think that it is a naive thinking. It is an illusion because first of all, I think Web2 companies are successful because they know how to observe, right? They don't just FOMO into new things, right? So what they have seen is that I think Meta basically has seen that, hey, NFTs, there's a lot of attention right now. There's more liquidity. People are spending money on this stuff. So that's why we're doing this integration. That's why we're entering right now, rather than entering into NFTs 1 year ago, where they have to do all the groundwork, right? Because right now they could just come here, and because of the strong and massive user base, they could just reap all the rewards in the space. So I do think that if Web3 companies, Web3 projects do not, up their game, Web2 companies are gonna come and take over, right? If you look at all the metaverse project, and I always say the same thing, is that if you're investing as well, always be cautious, right? Always be careful, because let's say for example, if Meta were to, create the metaverse, right? Of course, it's gonna support NFTs from Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, Flow, blockchain, right? Of course, they want to get these people into using the metaverse, right? And of course, they're gonna launch their own blockchain, where they're gonna charge creators for that 40-something%. But their business model is kind of different from Web3, right? Web3, you pay up front, you pay gas fees and stuff like that. But for them, maybe they need this 40%, service charge or commission in order to help the servers running, right? But what I can say is that it's very likely their metaverse, or it's gonna be free of charge, where it's just gonna be funded by advertising, right? Or maybe funded by creation fees. So if that really happens, I do think that they are gonna take up a huge market share, especially in the Web3 space as well. So this is not, this is just some of my observations, but I do think that they're gonna get in. Imagine them rolling out the blockchain. You can make your you can upload a photo to Instagram and then mint it as an NFT, sell it for money with no gas fees or really low gas fees using the Facebook blockchain, right? Definitely possible. And I think people are gonna go use Meta because of their existing user base, right? They don't have to do additional marketing or whatever to get people on board. So interesting times. I do think that at times I have to speak truth. Like, we can't always be in this echo chamber. We have to, really understand what's happening in the space. What are big players doing, right? And also through that, we truly understand the potential of the space, right? So that's it. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC. Hope you participate in this giveaway. Hope you like the content. Remember to like and subscribe and share this. If this is your first time watching, I do a show at 1 p.m. UTC on a daily basis to talk about the market, to share with you daily updates and so on. And if you are still striving, if you are still surviving, I'm in the same position as you, right? For me, I am still also, I haven't made it, right? I don't own all of these high value blue chip assets, right? But I am just someone who is, involving in the space, trying to understand the space, keeping myself updated in the space, and trying to build a community. And hopefully you guys like the content, and we could have some meaningful ideas and exchange, right? So stay safe, guys. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.